Hey everyone, how are you? Your 5-point update for this week. The 5 things I need you to know, to act on, to ask me questions about. They could be things that will stand in your way in terms of test success. So I'm trying to educate you to some degree so that you can best deal with them. So your 5 for this week are driving test wait times and some other stuff that's started happening with tests. The schedule I've got from now till next April and how far forward in time my schedule truly goes in terms of planning. Use of apps, and in particular an app I can roll out and I want to roll out in the next coming few weeks. The use of theory test help and how that could best help you, and a new trial I want to put in play and see if it's got viability and see if it's helpful. So your 5 for this week then, driving test wait times, still 24 odd weeks. I mean, it's as bad as it's ever been since COVID. The downside now is the wait time is still long, like it's always been, but people are now buying tests all over the land and then holding on to them and either selling them on for a huge profit, bit naughty, or they never take the test, so it gets wasted, still naughty, or they try and talk people into taking them to test. Like, I get calls all the time, oh hello, can you pick me up at Leicester train station on Thursday, I've got a driving test in Wigston or something. I go, oh all right, yeah, where are you coming from? Oh, Somerset or Glasgow or whatever. I mean, your driving should be good enough to drive anywhere, that's true, but you're really putting yourself on a disadvantage to turn up to a person you've never met, in a car you've never driven, in a place you've never been, and take a test when there could be tricky stuff, roundabouts, turns, whatever. I mean, I don't know. What's happening as well is companies are approaching people like me and saying, if we give you this amount of money, can you let us have your login credentials and we'll go online and we'll buy tests and we'll deal with it all and you don't have to do anything. But what they're truly up to is buying and selling tests for profit. Unfortunately, there's people that will go for that. And then the folk like you will be waiting and waiting and waiting and you can't get a date. So the way tests work right now is you could go online on a Monday, 6 AM is about the time it becomes available, and you could sit in a queue of 50,000 people, 80,000 people, 100,000 people, get to the front and there's no tests. And you think, oh, that's 3 hours of my life, I'll never get back. I get login credentials because I'm a registered person and all that from the DVSA, the people that do tests. So I can get your tests for you if they're available. And that's efficient because it makes sure I'm free, my car's free, I'm not on another test. I mean, all of those things could be really troublesome. So let's get this theory passed because it's the thing that's going to hold you back. It could be that your driving's really good, but you haven't passed the theory yet. So what do you do with the time in between? Do you take lessons every week? You could. Do you stop practicing? I don't recommend you do that. Is mum and dad going to take me every week? Well, hopefully, yeah, if that's an option, great. But maybe you haven't got that luxury. Maybe you don't have a car. Maybe your mum and dad can't take you out. But you're waiting and waiting and waiting between being really good but being ready to take a test in terms of having booked one. So you're kind of only holding yourself back if you leave the theory test unnecessarily. I work less hours I work less hours September to March, let's get it right. It's usually October though. October to March I work less hours, and so there are less evenings. I work less days overall, so I don't do 6 every week or 6.5 days, which is what I tend to do March to September. So there is less to pick from. I work the same amount of weekends, so they're there, but it would be useful for you to plan really far forward, like way forward, past any kind of date you've got in your head. So let's say, for example, your test is next February. I'd book lessons till April. If you don't need them, we won't do them. But if your test gets moved, cancelled, whatever, we've got options. If weather cancels it, if illness cancels it, then we have choices that you otherwise won't have if you haven't booked any sessions. I want to give everyone the opportunity to use the Drive Johnson's app. It's got loads of content, it's got loads of videos, books, it's got things I've sent you already, but it's got electronic progress cards. So if you're into recording your own progress and you don't like writing stuff down, I offer the workbooks, not everybody wants them. So reflective logbook it's called. You can type away in the app I can see what you wrote. You can set your targets, you can set your scale, 1 to 10, how good am I, 1 to 10, how nervous am I, 1 to 10, how confident am I, all of which might help you reflect and set targets for your next session. So when I see you next, and certainly in the month of November, I'm going to issue log-on credentials for you to use the app. I can do that because I work with Draft Johnson's, and it's under what's called a license. So I pay them some money, and then they say, you can use our stuff, you can use our brand. I'm wearing their logo here, for example. And the upside could be, it could be a new way for you to learn or study or see something in a different way. The maneuvers has got to be a classic. There's loads of little videos, really well shot videos, and they do it the way I do it, the way I teach it, the way we do it. So it could be your way of memorizing or swatting up or getting a briefing before you go out and practice in Tesco's car park by yourself with dad or mum or your husband or wife or whatever. So if I offer you the use of it, try it. There's no cost to you, and you might find that little nugget of gold in there that really helps you out. Theory test explained, covered this one, but there's been some uptake on it and people are quite excited about the progress they've made already. I have the opportunity to get you to work with somebody who only does theory now. So they've given up teaching learners, and they were really good at that, but they'd rather help learners with theory test. So it's Zoom based, it's remote based. Your first session's free, and you may then want to continue with them. Some people only need one session, but it could be what gets you over the line in terms of learning or thinking or planning to get your theory out of the way. And I'll put the details again in the video notes. And if you can't find them, then write to me and say, oh, what's that you said about a theory test? And I encourage you to use it. First one's free anyway, so why not? And then in terms of new trials, so usually since COVID actually, I only do bank transfers, and it's helpful for a number of reasons. So when you're self-employed, it's really difficult to keep running to the bank every day and trying to pay in money, because you got to pay your gas bill, your electric bill, or your car maintenance bill, or whatever. And you can only do that. Of course, you can only do that if you've got funds. So you can't really, unless you're well off already, you can't sit on a week's worth of money you've taken off people, and then I'll go to the bank next week, because it's a pain in the bum, really. The other thing as well is, from a personal point of view, when you're self-employed and you want a loan or a mortgage or whatever, you want to be able to show to whoever, like, there you go, there's my bank statements. So it's really easy for me when I've got one bank account, business bank account, all the things I spent money on, all the people that have paid me for my time and help, and then the banks go, oh yeah, sure, yeah. With cash, it's a little bit more difficult, and there are unscrupulous people who just go, oh yeah, £80 lesson fee, thank you, and then pocket, and then it never gets taxed or national insured or whatever. And if you do that, good luck to you, I suppose. But it then just means that it's tricky to be able to show your business and whatever. So I just preferred the bank transfer. And then there's the whole touching money thing in COVID, because disease lives on fingertips and coughs and whatever, and it's easy to pass on an illness, door handles in public bathrooms or something. So it's just one less point of contact, they called it. And so I did away with paper money. And it's worked, really, and it really helps me, and it's quite straightforward. You can pay bank transfer. You could, if necessary, you could use PayPal. Well, I've done that with a few people. But here's what I want to try. So if you want to pay cash, then on a trial basis, I'm going to make the offer that you can. But it's got to work this way. So it's a requirement on behalf of my business to you that you need to have paid for your session 7 days before the lesson day, minimum. You can do it 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before, doesn't matter, but it's got to be a minimum 7 days before. So the way it would work with cash is, let's say for the sake of an argument, you've got a lesson every week, and on the 1st of November you have sent me the money for the 8th of November, and they'll go, okay, and it comes over and I confirm it, send you a receipt, whatever. Then from that point in time, if you weren't wanting to then use cash, then when I see you on the 8th of November, you would then give me paper money for the 15th of November, so at least 1 week away. And then I'd send you a receipt like normal. Everything's the same. You can still have a refund if you give me the right amount of notice. Refunds will probably be bank transfer, because that's just easy. Again, it's easy to trace, to make a receipt and make it auditable. But if it's a massive deal, I'd find a way to refund cash, but I'd have to see you to do that, wouldn't I? And if we ain't got a session for weeks, that's tricky. So you can have it on a trial basis. I mean, we're going to trial cash, so you have to have paid for the next one on the one you're on. And the way that can be a bit strange is if you're, let's, in our fictitious example, go back to November. So on the 1st of November, I asked you to pay me for the 8th of November, and that's great. Then on the 8th of November, I see you and you say to me, oh yeah, do you know what, I'm not doing the 15th because I'm going skiing or whatever. I'll still take the 22nd, but the 22nd is my next one. So when I see you on that day, on the 8th of November, let's say, you'd then have to pay me for the 22nd. So the one that's your next lesson, but 2 weeks away or 3 weeks away, because you've always got to be one in front. It's the only way it can work. And then when people pay for the lesson up front, it means I secure your time with me, and me with you. It means that nobody else can put someone in that lesson spot either, because I've got an office team that take calls all day, they book lessons, and if it doesn't say paid, potentially, and it's happened before, they can put someone in a space that was going to be yours, but at this stage, one, you haven't paid for it, perhaps, and two, you haven't sent me the I'm okay, I'm well, you know, the message I send you. So you haven't confirmed that you definitely still want it. And if you can think about it from my side of the wall, I've got, oh God, 10, 15, on a normal day, 20 sometimes, people wanting lessons. When can I start? So they're all making inquiries and they all want to start tomorrow. So potentially they can get put into a space that nobody's actually confirmed that they wanted to. So yeah, so that's the 5 things. So driving test wait time, 24 weeks. Let me book your test for you, get your theory passed. Unscrupulous companies are off-selling tests, and that could compound our problem. So be very careful about where you buy your test, your driving test. Only buy it from me, say, or you can get yourself, but make sure you buy it online from the DVSA and not one of these little other websites that you click on and it goes, can I have £62 for your test? And you go, oh great. Oh, and £50 admin. What? The DVSA would never charge you an admin fee. The only time you pay more money is if you give a bank holiday test or a weekend test. Then it's 75, not 62, but anything more than 62 and something strange is going on. I work less hours now till March. My schedule was published and it runs all the way to next November. Get in there and get your lessons booked. If you don't do them because you don't need them, great, someone else will have them. If you don't do them because you've started playing tennis on Thursday or whatever, that's all right. Someone will take them, or maybe I can swap your Thursday with Fred's Saturday or Monday or whatever. But I can only do it if you've got something to trade. The Drive Johnson's app, ask me about it in the car when I see you next. I will start to issue them to everybody anyway. It'll be an email or a text. It'll say press here, you punch in your details. Oof, here comes the app onto your phone, and I'm hearing great things about it. So why wouldn't you use it? Because if anything, it helps, it helps. Theory test explained. I will send you the website address, Facebook page, guy's telephone number if you need it. I'd encourage you to use it. He does great work. He only does theory tests for a living, theory test help for a living, and you could, maybe that's how you finally get through the theory, with that 1, 2, 3 sessions. So the arrangement is, just to remind you, first lesson free, and then afterwards you talk to them and go, can I have 1, can I have 2, and they tell you what the price is. And then lastly, cash is available as a trial, but you must always pay for the next one on the one you're on. So if your lesson is 3 weeks away and you and I see each other on Tuesday, because that's the very next lesson you've got, so your very next lesson's next Tuesday, and then the lesson next is 3 weeks away, then on that day, that's when you'd have to settle that. So if it doesn't make sense, ask me, but you always got to be one in front. Think of it as I'm always one in front. So that's that. Thank you for letting me help you. It is a pleasure to do so, and I know you've got the options of a million different people out there, so it's really nice when you want to work with me, and more so when you're all really kind and you sort of recommend me. I get a lot of that on Facebook and Google and whatever. People are really kind to go, this is who you need, spotted in such and such a place, and then, oh, I want a driving instructor, and then people go, oh yeah, you want this guy. So it's really helpful, and I love that, so thank you. Keep doing that if you don't mind. And then if you feel great and positive about what's happening, then you can leave reviews for me. That's how other people find me, and I'll give you the means to do that. And if you're ever got questions or whatever, then come and talk to me, and I will try and fix it for you. I'll always try and do what I can if I can. So that's your update. I will see you on the next one in the car, and have a good week. Bye.